Hey, what's up, everybody? Little minute, but of always appreciate y'all rocking with me. So let's start it off right.
Ah,
I love this shit.
today's narrator, the ghost. This is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. True indeed. You might not believe it though. Canaro's been fucking up. That's why I'm the ghost.
Ah,
I'm about to open up. Listen, one day I fell asleep and my knife woke me up. He said, your gun is in the closet flipping.
listen, let me just stop right there. Your gun is in the closet flipping. You can picture the gun in the closet. Imagination, man. This is what makes great rap. Let me just back up because I'm not gonna talk. The whole song is brilliant, but right away, I love how they included that. Right, just him coughing, it humanizes him because you're like, oh, okay, this is someone not necessarily in distress, but just somebody that's like, trying to get himself together. Almost, it's like he's probably smoking something. Maybe it's a way of communicating, like, yo, listen, like, roll one up, relax, really, peep this. You know what I mean? Without him telling you, uh, you light a joint to this shit or whatever, right? That's what a substandard rapper, or I should say a standard rapper would do. But here he's just like, he starts off with the cough, you get the idea, okay, he's probably smoking something. He's setting the ambiance, the vibe, right?
Ah,
He's like, again, feeling, emotion. This is what makes rap great.
today's narrator, the ghost. This is a true story, ladies.
That piano, yo, that shit hits me in the soul, man. That's one of them, like that, just the feel and the sound of that piano. That shit's sad. It's not even so much like it's like, look at me and weepy sad, but it's more of a just like, it just hits the heart. It does have a sad, melancholic vibe to it, but again, not emo. But it just moves me. And again, right away before this guy really starts rapping, the beat's incredible, right? Like again, hip hop is about the beat. The beat's got to be fired. That's the first thing we notice. Okay, so
The ghost. This is a true story, ladies and gentlemen.
right away you're like, oh,
You might not believe it though. Canaro's been fucking up. That's why I'm the ghost. I'm about to open up. Listen, one day I fell asleep and my knife woke me up. He said, your gun is in the closet flipping. Talking about I get the most action. He about to soak me up. So
this is the difference between Styles and Beanie Siegel. Respectfully, when people make these comparisons, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. When Beanie Siegel is in the vein of the locks, and no, he's not. Okay, no, he's not. Beanie Siegel could never. He can never make a song this dope because he doesn't have it in him. Respectfully, Beanie Siegel is not that imaginative. Hip hop is about imagination. The best rappers are imaginative people, and they do things with their vocals and their song concepts and the beats that they rap on. That's what makes a great rapper. That's why rap is really for a select few, because most people, respectfully, are not that imaginative. That's why we look to people who are imaginative and go, whoa, like, that's why, like, I could never listen to Currency, respectfully, or the Griselda, or any of these boring ass niggas. They're just dudes who rap. Dudes who rap will never be hot. To me, this is what I started to notice in the mid 2000s, in the early to mid 2000s. I started seeing some of these guys who just rap. I'm like, I don't see the imagination in what you're doing, what your vibe is, what your story on record. Not talking about your real life story because I don't necessarily care about that. But what's the persona? What's the story, the narrative? What's the what are you trying to tell us about who you are and where you're from and what makes you unique? And I started just seeing guys in the mainstream and underground who just rapped. That's all it was. It was just like, I just want to rap. I just want to wear chains. I want to get girls. And it's like, you're boring. I have no interest in you. Imagination is what separates all these rappers, the great ones, from literally everyone else. Without imagination, this hip hop shit doesn't tick. And to that point, actually, forgot to bring this up, but this is, and again, positive, negative, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It's just about imagination. I remember the first time I listened to Like Water for Chocolate. This was probably, I heard Like Water for Chocolate in 2003. Like full. I had heard Sixth Sense before that. But again, being in Saudi, certain songs would come, I would get access to certain songs, and I loved Sixth Sense. I didn't even know it was on this album. Like, I had no idea. It's just a song. It came, and I was like, I found it online, and, I was listening to it. I was like, whoa, man, Common's going in. I'm the Morpheus of hip-hop Matrix exposing fake shit. I was like, whoa, right? But the point is, actually around the same time, funny enough, that I heard Illmatic in full for the first time, I had these two albums. I had Illmatic and Like Water for Chocolate. My boy was like, you should listen to these two albums, type of thing. No, there were three. It was this. Can you imagine? Wow, now that I think about it. It was Illmatic, Like Water for Chocolate, and Blueprint. Those around, I heard them all around the same time, and it was like, oof. That's the kind of thing that makes you listen to all those, records, and you start thinking about rap completely differently. So anyway, so I remember seeing the song Nak Champa, and I'm listening to it, and I was like, oh, this shit's fire. I had no idea what the fuck Nak Champa even meant. And I was like, that's a weird title, right? Listen to this. Imagination, man.
Yeah, baby boy. In the place to be. Got the hump, baby. We got the hump.
Dilla.
With the hump. Yo. Check it. Exciting, enlightening, inviting. I'm writing shit that I feel. Raps are black steel in the hour of commotion, emotion of calm. It's like that of an ocean devotion, cause I'm the earth, wind, and fire. A hip hop I rock.
Again, I'm writing shit that I feel, right? Like, this is the whole thing, imagination. Again, this is what sets Common apart from all the other wannabe conscious deep niggas, okay? You gotta have an imagination, okay? You gotta say shit. You gotta do things that I haven't heard of. You gotta come with vibes that I haven't heard, and they're dope. Not, oh, I haven't heard that before, but it's, I don't know how I feel about that. No, like, I haven't heard that before, and that's dope. You feel me? And so, moving on to something I've been playing incessantly. I love this fucking beat, man. Holy crap. Clams Casino, if Clams ever sees this, man, like, to me, this is the shit that, like, to me, hip-hop is all about. Coming with something, like, this vibe. Hip-hop, man. Raw. That's the brilliance of, like, Clams is doing some shit. Clams, to me, this is religious music. Now, it's not gonna be for everyone necessarily, but for someone like me who, I do like religious sounding music, I don't know what it is. I think I always have had like that vibe. This shit is crazy. And to be able to pull it off in a hip-hop sense where it's not soft is wild. And Clams pulled it off because all that stuff is like very, very like soft. Like, what kind of beat would you add to that to make that shit hot? But then he's up with the kong and kong. Anyway, like, Clams is an original, and he's white. Again, when people say, "Yo, Tochi, you don't like," no, man. Like, I don't care what race you are. Are you hip hop? That's what matters. Clams Casino, I've said this, was to me, the best new producer in like 15 years in hip hop, who's done something that's actually like, I have never heard this vibe before. It actually made me go, whoa, what is this shit? And I had to sit and think about what the fuck I was listening to. And it's a white guy. Doesn't matter, right? But yeah, do most white people not know what they're talking about when it comes to rap? Yeah, that's just the truth. And so many of them insist on being vultures as opposed to just like surveying the hip hop landscape, just checking out what they like, and then if they're inspired, add to it. And that's what Clams has done. So of course, we welcome that. Anyway, love this. I just think that this is brilliant. And when I think about Clams, I think I might have said this before, but to me, this is like the closest thing to a Clams beat. And again, if you think about it, this beat was very popular, but almost no one made a beat like it since after that, right? That, you know, that like Enya ambient shit, right? That's the closest thing. But again, Clams is just taking it to a whole nother place that I would have never thought about. And when I heard Clams the first time and I started to really get into those beats, the palaces and the bass and the leaves and stuff, I was just like, oh my God, no one's done this, like, ever. I mean, I cannot think of a person prior to Clams that was doing that kind of beat. With those kind of, even the drums, even the choice of how, like, Clams has a certain choice of snare and things like that. There's certain things he does where I'm like, I don't know anybody that uses that. Anyway, so just some stuff that I've been loving these days. Let's talk about this. So this is trash. I was trying to figure out, like, when you see me not post for a while, a lot of it is also like, I don't know what to talk about. I mean, yes, of course, I could always go back in the past, and that's fine. But, I like to talk about current shit if possible, right? Or stuff that I love, or essentially. I don't always love to live in the past, despite what I'm sure the bots say about me. I tried to listen to this because I saw Bryson Tiller, So I said, oh, okay, in a list of songs, right? Latest songs. Sexy Red and Bruno Mars, hell no. Kevin Gates, hell no. I don't listen to nothing Kevin Gates. Lefty Gunplay, isn't he the guy on Kendrick's album? He's now getting posted because he was on Kendrick's album. Whatever. Central C, You know what? Let me give this guy a little listen.
Make your mind up. Are you gonna stay with me? Lay with me tonight.
When life gets rough, how can I complain? I got bros in jail, so it could be worse. I put up the bread for my broski's funeral.
I'm sorry, you know why I'm laughing? This guy has the same flow every freaking song. And it's like that Ice Spice shit. This guy's like the male version of Ice Spice. No, I will say this though. Central C is actually better than a lot of UK rappers that I've heard. I'm going to be honest with you. Not that I think he's amazing. I don't go out of my way to listen to Central C. I never would. But, there's something there. But it's just... He's just being too formulaic, right? Same flow every time.
No, that was my first time booking a hearse. I sold coke to the white people in the ends. I'm glad that my hood's diverse. I'm writing a verse and my sis told me that my...
Sold coke to the white people? Aren't you white?
Niece is listening, please don't. How do I put this pain into words? Like a bullet from a gun, it burns. Slept on a vandal sofa and I woke up with spots on my face from germs. I feel betrayed by my girl, you were ungrateful.
This is forgettable. Again, it doesn't have to feel, man. It like the new shit is sterile.
Today's narrator, the ghost. This is a true story, ladies and gentlemen.
Feeling. Look at the music. There's just more music going on. This one is just bass. It's like, and it's like not even interesting.
It's pain into words. Like a bullet from a gun, it burns. Slept on a vandal sofa and I woke up with spots on my face from germs.
It's not that interesting. It's boring. So anyways, I tried to listen to new shit and I just was like, these new niggas, like, this is why their stuff will never work. It just, they're so... Like this song, Jordan De Tunji. Shout out to my Nigerian people, whatever. But, it's like... You're a fashion model? What is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have any, what's your song? Do you have any music you want to share with us? Or are you just trying to look lit? Like, everyone's just trying to look lit. But that's not music. I'm sorry. It's just not. Anyway, moving on. This I thought was funny. Let me go on record and say that, frankly, you know, Diddy, again, I've said this about Diddy. Diddy made some phenomenal music in rap, okay? I don't care about his personal life, okay? If you don't like the fact that I like Diddy's music, in terms of not his, like, his actual songs, but I'm talking about, like, him, his mind and his ear and the amount of talent that was around him, I would like to believe, I don't know, but to me, for a guy that was around Big, G-Dep, Black Rob, Mace, I mean, these are some serious talents, okay? A lot of you would have fucked that up, with all due respect, okay? Like, Diddy clearly had a vision, and he clearly has an ear for music. I think it's fairly obvious. And the guy can dance, you know what I'm saying? So he's a hip-hop dude. And for all that, as far as hip-hop contribution goes, and as far as making music that is memorable, I'll give Diddy all his props. Whether or not he's an abusive, rapist, whatever, all that has nothing to do with me, frankly. And as I've said before, if he's guilty of that stuff, he should face the consequences of that. But I'm not going to sit here and, like, you know, ramble on and on about freak-offs and stuff like that. I just think that's kind of corny. And I just think it's interesting how, like, for example, this sex worker is giving his, or, you know, people obviously, now that, you know, Diddy's locked up, they're all coming out the woodwork. Many of them like roaches, with all due respect. But, you know, and it's all this almost like puritanical, like, oh, he was such a sex demon, and all the, oh, like, you know, pearl clutching. And it's just like, we're in 2025. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think that people were this puritanical about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if Diddy went both ways. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we're in 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just interesting to me. I almost feel like, in a weird way, part of it is also with the woke shit too, but to a certain extent, like, we've kind of gone a little backward. Let me formulate my thought here, because I remember reading an article maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and the writer was making the point that when you look at these Marvel movies, okay, it all comes together. When you look at these Marvel movies and you see these, like, superheroes, and you know, the Captain America and all these, and they got their shirts off, and you know, they look sexy, but it's like, but there's like no actual there's nothing sensual going on in any of these movies, if that makes sense. You know, like, it's almost asexual. It's almost like look but don't touch, which is social media to me in a lot of ways. You see these girls and guys, you know, all trying to, you know, basically showing off how sexy they are, but it's very sterile. You get this vibe where it's like, don't touch me, and like, and I know chicks that, you know, I know a few. Anyways, I know one in particular comes to mind. I'm not going to tell you her name. But when you see her at IG, you'll be like, oh my God, this girl is so sexy. Like, oh my God, you imagine all the shit that you do with her or whatever. This girl is a prude. She's got the ass hanging out on IG all the time. A total prude. Because it's look, don't touch. And that's the vibe. What I'm trying to say is that it's almost like, because sensuality is about human connection at the end of the day. And so when you live in a world that is regulated by algorithms, and there is that, and it pushes people away as opposed to bringing them together, you are going to lose sensuality. That's kind of my overall point. Okay? So, anyway, I just think it's interesting because you know, it's like this guy's talking about stories, and then there's some funny shit in here. Oh, you know, he made me put baby oil on. I was like, yeah, he's a freak. Like, he was paying you? Like, all right then. Like, like, you're a sex worker. Like, what are you complaining about? Again, if he did criminal shit, that's different. Because, of course, criminal shit is we have laws for these things. Okay, the criminal shit, yes, you can go to jail for that, but don't try to like, dude. The shaming thing is corny. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. And woke people, that's literally the only tool in their arsenal. They try to shame their way into getting power, which again is corny as fuck, and I'm tired of it. I will say though that this dude who was like an assistant of Diddy's apparently was like. So Pines even alleged that his former boss, Diddy, once forced him to participate in the Wild King night. And have sex with a woman, leaving him with a great sense of remorse right from the jump. Sure. I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." That's the Diddy I know. Okay, I don't know Diddy, but that's Diddy. I can imagine Diddy saying some shit like that. You have to remember, Diddy's the guy that... Let me see if I can find this shit. Oh my God. See that, but that bravado larger than life shit, that shit's hot. That shit's fire, man. And it inspires confidence and creativity. Again, people like we come into a dweeb culture now, so everyone's like, "Oh, you have confidence. You give up male energy, so I'm afraid of you. That's bad." Right? Again, that woke bullshit. But there's nothing wrong with having bravado, man. Like, it's a nice thing. Again, if you are committing crimes, it's not a good thing. But bravado is not the reason that one commits crimes. Committing crimes is committing crimes, right? You could be a dweeb and commit crimes, as we've seen with, I'm not going to go into names, but it doesn't matter. It's a, feel free to express the range of your personality, right? So let me see if it's in here.
The shiny suit man. I know you've heard my name before. Whether it was out the mouths of other rappers or, whoever else wanted to say my name, Shiny Suit Man, but did not want to say my government name, Sean Combs, Sean John Combs. Some of you may even know me as Puffy, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy. But I just wanted to get the record straight, that when they talking about the shiny suit, they talking about me. And oh yeah, next time say my name. If you really a man, just call on Shiny Suit Man! Now.
What? This guy interrupted his own song for that. So this dude is on Diddy's on a different wavelength, fam. But you kind of have to be. Again, people that do creative shit, like, they are in a different wavelength. They just are. Now, again, you shouldn't be abusing people, but... you know what? Let me use this as an opportunity to go through. Obviously, this is brilliant. This is freaking brilliant to me. Yeah.
Check this out.
Let's go. P. Fuck Diddy. Deputy. This shit will always be hot. Stop it. This shit will always be hot. This is classic. Okay? So anyways, I think I've said enough. But, on that note, I say peace.